first game, of course, Jackie avenged the death of his girlfriend Jenny at the end of the first game, and that that really affected him emotionally. And so, in the second game, we really explore that, like what has that done to Jackie as a man? He feels a lot of guilt over the death of Jenny. He blames himself for it, and so we explore that quite a bit, and what that's done to him and the people around him as well, and how that affects them. Of course, in Darkness 2, Jackie's now the Don of the Estacado crime family. So emotionally, he has some issues there, but also in the world, he's much more important. He's not just a hitman now, he's the Don of the family. So he's really grown quite a lot as a man, and we explore that quite a lot from all facets. Actually, in Darkness 2, we only have the one Darkling. What we wanted to do was really give him personality, make him a character, and we couldn't really do that with 4 of them. So we decided to condense it down, have one Darkling with one role, but create him as a character. In the first game, they're pure gameplay tools. But here, he has a role in the story. He helps you in combat. If an enemy's in cover, he'll grab him and pull him out of cover, make him an easier kill for you. When you're not in combat, he'll guide you through levels. He'll bring you ammo, that kind of stuff. So we've really been able to flesh out his character and what his role is in the game by making only a single Darkling. So we have our talent system, and that's what the essence feeds into. So whenever you kill an enemy, you're earning some essence, and you actually get more essence if you kill guys in violent ways. So if you cut a guy in half with a demon arm, you'll get a lot more essence than if you shoot him with bullets. So you can we encourage you to use your powers that way by giving you more essence for that. You'll also earn essence for eating hearts. Now, as you're traveling through the levels, you'll come across talent shrines. When you activate the talent shrine, that opens up the talent tree, and that's where you can spend your essence. So the talents do a lot of different things. You can upgrade your weapons to improve their effectiveness. You can upgrade your demon arms so you can improve the slashing or the grabbing. And you can also purchase new powers there too. So some examples there would be the black hole power. You can buy that in the talent tree, and you can also buy a power called gun channeling. So lights have the same basic effect. When you're on the light, you can't use your powers. So your demon arms get sucked back, and you can't regenerate your health either. But what's big different from Darkness 2, or from Darkness 1 rather, is that the enemies actually use light. So our new enemy type in Darkness 2 are called the Brotherhood. Now what makes them interesting and fun to fight against is that they know the darkness, and they know how to use light against it. So yeah, like in the first game, you're going to be shooting out street lights, you're shooting out headlights from cars and that kind of stuff, but you're also dealing with the lights that these enemies bring into the scene. So a couple different things they've done that we showed in the demo here, we're using flashbangs against you. When you get hit by a flashbang, you can't use your demon arms until the effects subside. Another example is our enemies that we call the Support Brotherhood. These guys come to battle not with guns, but with a giant light on their shoulder. It's a really powerful light that they keep trained on Jackie, so that you can't, as long as this guy's alive, you can't use your powers. So it creates a really interesting strategy in gameplay, where you have to kind of decide, do I want to take out the guys that are shooting at me, but without my powers, when I'm more vulnerable, or do I want to take out the light so that I can then get my powers back and use those against the other enemies? So it creates a really cool dynamic that changes how it plays, and we find that everyone kind of approaches those situations differently. One is our quad wielding system. Now that, of course, allows you to dual wield guns. It allows you to slash enemies with the right demon arm. So if you hold down the right bumper, you can move the right analog stick to slash in different directions. So you can knock it up into the air, and you can knock them off to the side if you want. At the same time, you can also be grabbing things. So you can tap the left bumper to grab with the left demon arm. So you can grab things like rebar and then throw that at enemies to impale them and spear them to walls. My favorite are car doors. You can grab a car door and use it as a riot shield. When you're done with it, you can then throw that shield at enemies to cut them in half. So it's a lot of fun, and it really changes how the Darkness plays. It's a really fast-paced action game, and we really encourage you with the demon arms to get in close. We want you to rush towards the enemies, splash at them, grab at them, shoot them with your dual wields. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a different kind of play than most first-person shooters out there. So when you grab enemies that are alive, you can then execute them. And we have, I don't even know, we have over a dozen different executions that you can do. And there is a gameplay reward for doing them. Some of them will give you some health back if you execute. And my personal favorite we call the spinal tap. So what you do there is you grab an enemy by the leg, and when you execute him, the one demon arm reaches into his chest, rips out his spinal cord, and kind of tosses it aside. And what I love about it is that you can then pick up that spinal cord and carry it around with you. So it's pretty gory, and we have a lot of different executions like that just, they're fun to watch and they're fun to experience. We took a lot of inspiration from the comic book. Our writer is Paul Jenkins. He wrote a lot of the comic book stories, so there's that connection there. Of course, our art style has been inspired by the comic books, so when you're playing it, it really feels like you're playing through some of the Darkness comics. And yeah, I mean, it's all the same characters from the comics. The Brotherhood are an enemy in the comics, and we have kind of put our own spin on them here in the game. And so if you're a lover of the comics, if you read all the comics, you'll recognize a lot of the characters that are in the game.
I'm stronger than you think. Jackie!